2-volume book, and it goes from present history, prehistory, to the present. And we're on the third YOUU about this here, and we're talking about the women in the churches and the power, of the faithful and those who were in the church, but man stepped in and tried to say, well, if it don't come through him, that they're not going to get it, and that they were the rulers. Now, part of that is true, but it also depends on what tribe you were in. This is why the word tribe was taken away and replaced with the word race. Now, when you have a race, R-A-C-E, that is actually a race to see who's going to try to outmaneuver who. But what humans do not understand is that time don't exist. Time is only a quantum theory in your mind. So when people say this year or that year, we're still in the now. Like when you say yes today, it was yes today. When you say today, it's today. When you say tomorrow, that means you're still in today. You're thinking about tomorrow and to make more. And when you row, like row your boat, when you row, you're going to do more. Or if you have more rows, you're going to have more rows. In agriculture, you have more rows of potatoes, more rows of this, more rows of that. So these simple words that we use is always going to reflect that we'll always stay in the now. It's always the now. And only those who can perceive that is those who are connected. Their oversoul is connected with the heavens. When people say that we're lost, no. We're not lost. A lot of people is lost, and we're trying to get you connected. And that's connecting your oversoul. And those that were cut off, which were the Canaanite tribe, those who didn't have the melanin to absorb certain things and absorb certain energies and reflect certain energies. What happened is that you had a high priest. This high priest, the word priest, was pre-existent. Those who was giving the responsibility to respond, to be able to care for you and to help you along the way until you can breathe yourself out of this existence we call leprosy, or leproma, and deformity, and all kind of mental problems and uncertainty. And this is why you had the high priest. And this is what was done, and it will never be changed until we come into an agreeable situation with the womb man who makes these children. The womb man is the creator on earth. She is a creator, not a creature. With the pronunciation and being sly and able, which they call syllables, the word syllable is sly and able. And to be sly and able and to say certain things, basically, is how man is ruling in a wrong direction. But as the Elohim has stepped in, and as you can hear for yourself, that these words are pleasant. These words are the words that you actually want to hear because they agree with your reason, your purpose on a global scale. So, getting back to what we're saying, you have the women of the churches who stepped in, and actually they were nunneries first. And we're going to get more into this, and it's a beautiful book. You need to go and get it. But the whole thing is that it was the preparation of what they call son or soon, or who was going to help, who would be able to identify this. Now, when women have a son, the son is drafted into war. So it's a process of elimination so that they would not have help. But what has happened, the son has come in the form, you see, of a call grown man. You see, and that's what's one thing they cannot understand that. You know, how can a child come in the form of a just the same thing as a little child, and they put a spirit in that child. That spirit, you know, or a soul in that child is the same thing as what they call John and Elijah with a double spirit. And this double spirit is one that will guide you. You see, it's like the download of a spirit, the download of a correct spirit, a healing spirit. And this is who I am. And there is no one who can disprove it. Now, and back in a couple of years, I guess, you know, when they tried to kill me a couple of times and hurt me and do all kind of mean things, right? Basically, they were right in their sense of being right, as being traditionally, as men has always done, kill those who came to save the womb man. And with that, I will continue, right, by just saying that you had the church women, right, and then you had the women of the castles and the manors, and they were the custodians of the land, and they brought forth a lineage to the king. But the information that they had would not overturn the powers that be, because Europe did not have it. Europe was always in agreement and had contracts and treaties, contracts called treaties with other countries. And when they made the Magna Carta, and you can look up the Magna Carta, and I believe it's 1250, something like that. And this Magna Carta brought forth what we call an agreement. It gave them a system that they can use with lords and barons and, you know, and dukes, and each title, you know, represented the king. Even today, when you say you're feeling good and you say okay, you say "O king," because the king ruled everything, but he was supposed to rule it for the queen. So as we getting back to who's who on the planet Earth, and now that the Elohim has stepped in, we will definitely put the world in order, and it won't have to be no more war.